Okay, so I got my Mustang fixed, and I did was uh I changed the pickups to a Seymour Duncan 59 hybrid. This was actually supposed to go into my AliExpress Jagstang um, project, but I backed out. Like I don't want to buy Chinese crap anymore. You have to do so much homework. You have to buy new tuners. At all of that, you could just buy like a heavily used Jag stang for like $600 from Japan or something. That is just my thing. But all of them are red. I just want a blue one. I'm so picky, But I also put my Hamer pickup, the one with the skulls and stuff. I put the thing on the bridge, and it actually has more output than the Seymour Duncan one. Problem with the pickup is that it's um it's just very very thin. It has all the mids, but the bass is completely turned off. So if you want like a bassy pickup or whatever, forget it. Do I like the pickup? Yeah, hell yeah! It sounds really cool under distortion. It sounds really tough. I got my dad to test this guitar out, and he said it was really cool. It's a fantastic guitar. Almost like you like I would never sell this thing unless I got some guitar. Because I have like I really wish for a Jagstang, or I wish for a Jazzmaster Fender one, or a Gibson acoustic or whatever. But I would really just want like a Jazzmaster or whatever. I'm not that talented. I know I struggle with playing, and it's just what's the point of playing if you can't play? It's like stuff like that. But I think it's just cool. I like guitar. I think it's really cool. Even though I stopped taking it seriously like years ago, it just has a really nice thing. I just like the simplicity of Mustangs, and this is almost equally as good as a Fender one. The tailpiece or the bridge, you don't need like the old vintage one. To be completely honest, that would just be a waste of a good, because Kurt never uses, you know, whammy bar anyways. The old new Jagstangs they have whammy bars. I don't use whammy bars at all. Cause like if you've seen my relaxing DS2 video, I uh, I used like just a whammy on my Gear for Music guitar, which I sold off for like $75. I regret it because it was made in ash. It was considerably light. The neck was short, and there was no intonation issues whatsoever. Straight from Gears for Music. It was a relic red one. Came on a discount, so for like 90 euros or whatever. It was actually pretty good, but like because it doesn't say Fender on the headstock, and because it's a copy, it's considerably seen as something that's mid. Even though it's all about the carpenter, and I'm a terrible carpenter at that. So, but mid pickups, you get that sort of cool jangly sound, and the neck has a little bit of more room and sort of just kick if you need it. So it's actually, this is just a bridge pickup, and it actually still has the markings of when I used my Hamer guitar back in Falk High School. I would just use a coin because I was so broke at the time. I didn't know how to order online, and I didn't know how to order online, so I would just take a coin and I would just rip the pickup, so the plastic and the whole thing is all beaten up by the coin and shit because of Brian May, and I didn't know how to get new picks because there wasn't any like department store or any guitar store, and I didn't have a car at that point, and I didn't take public transport, so I usually just sat inside or just went shopping if people were going shopping, but I didn't go to guitar stores because I didn't know you could buy, stuff, because the guitar stores are fairly expensive, and but now I have my own car. I buy mainly guitar stuff, for my hobby. I still save up money and stuff, but I usually, you know, treat myself a little bit. This thing costs. Uh, it must have been like 160 or 170 euros or something, 150 euros for this guitar. Pickup replacement was 140 euros sharp. Expensive as shit, just changing the pickups, and 500k pots, because the pots you didn't see in the early videos, that it sound, why does it sound so low in volume, and it was some cheap Korean pickups and pots. So yeah, does my hearing aids work? Because like I've just annoying tinnitus and stuff. Like I've tinnitus brain, I guess. I've never been the same after my tinnitus, but it sucks, but anyways, straps hold fine. The paint and stuff is a little bit damaged, but who cares? It's like, if you're really that picky about your paint and stuff, like, you need to just relax. To be honest, I think it just creates character. To be honest, I don't think it's anything else. The neck is really thin. It's better, way better on the Strat Parchcaster project. I'm thinking about just replacing the neck or whatever. It sounds cool, but the neck, it has way too much space, on the upper fret, so you can't really use them on the other one, unless you're like playing like power chords and shit. And that's what I usually do. It says, design and backed by Fender, made in Indonesia. It's a Squire Mustang by Fender. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's really cool, to be completely honest. I This is like my main guitar. But I'm starting to get a burnout from guitar and stuff. I've had like 10 hours of sleep. I'm still tired. If you wonder why I look so zoned out or weird, like in my videos and stuff, like I lost like 70 pounds or whatever, like 40 to 50 kilos, like 40, 30, I think. And I lost so much weight. I came back to my OG weight of like 78, 75 kilos. And I was like 106 or 8 back in the winter of 2025. And I didn't know why I lost so much weight. I just started fasting and got depressed because I got hearing loss, so I stopped eating that much. But I did eat, 1 or 2 meals a day. I drank a lot of water. I just went sugar free on a lot of things. So and that's why I kind of looked always tired and sad, because like I think it's facial fat or whatever, or stuff, or like depression. I also have like I have like autism too. So like I have that too, but I don't see it as that much of a disability. I see it just as a way to keep doing what I love, my hobby, guitar. I also do TikTok sometimes. I used to do content creation back in the day. I used to do videos and stuff, but I wasn't a like professional media and photography person. Like, because in Europe you have these media and photography classes with like the the millennial burger place vibe sort of thing. But I wasn't um, into that sort of thing. I didn't like it. I chose to go arts. I thought I actually had a chance, and this was before like the AI boom back in 2023, I think, or like 2020, 2024, I think. this shit just completely destroyed artistry, and I became so depressed I stopped drawing and shit. Back in like 2024, 2025, I occasionally go and draw, and doodles, but it isn't anything seriously. I know exactly how to draw like normal stuff, and I know how to draw, you know. I had like for pale skin, I would use pastry. I think like light pastry. I would use purple and red and blue for veins. I would use that, purple and red. I would just blush it around the skin with like a blue pencil and stuff, and I would just do that all the time with drawings and stuff. That I love to draw humans. I love to draw people, and I used to like to draw maps. I like to draw. It's not really anything that can make me money. And you know, I still draw occasionally, but like I used to do it because it was fun. But like I get in drama for just drawing nowadays, because it comes to a point where like people will like, why are you drawing this? You're just supposed to be drawing what you're supposed to be told. It's a very and back in the days you would just get bullied because your art wasn't good enough. Now because AI took over most industries, and everyone just whenever I see AI being used in like a physical art form, when people just like start companies and workplaces, I just get that angry stare like in a movie, like I just stare like the screen or whatever, like with bitterment. I use only AI for one thing, and that's to isolate demos and jams, in case I forget my lyrics or have like this sounds really cool and stuff. But my ear can't really pick up like what sounds cool or not. I think that's the main reason why people are so stupidly depressed, is because if like I never was this. It was never this bad before hearing loss, but I don't like to talk about it. But the strings on this guitar. Oh fucking Christ! Its strings are 1052s, Ernie balls. I that's my standard one I use, because my dad uses it too, so I use these strings. And this was professionally intonated by like a pianist, guitar tech. Yeah, there's no bus or whatever. I get kind of guilty for owning these guitars, because like I'm not that good, so like people would have a better use for it. But I think I just like to jam. Like I like the way I do it. Like I have like an idea in my head, or 5 ideas, and I just rush into the rehearsal room, and I pick up the vocal microphone. This is a SEV2 microphone, and I just run into the studio and I record it with my phone and just publish it, because that saves up on space. I don't care really that much. I think it's just music ideas and stuff. Even though like it's like the problem with music nowadays is like who are you performing for, and that's the kind of weird thing. Like music, like I think most people quit like after 5 years or something. I don't know. It's not like the 70s anymore. It's all about promotion and marketing and all this stuff. And yeah, but this is a really cool Mustang. I'm actually 6'2" and a half. Everyone says like guitars look like toys to me, and that's kind of true. But that hurts my feelings deep inside. So don't say that. But yeah. So it has a lot of nice space, and that's kind of it. I ordered a FT Electronica plurichorus. It's a polychorus clone. It's more inaccurate of the Past Effects one, which did came out this year, but I chose not to buy one, due to like shipping and stuff. It's from Australia, so I would just buy something from Italy instead. So it's coming about first day Monday, so that's going to be a cool thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be coming there. And I already bought like these like dots with colors, so you can like take the settings for each Nirvana song and whatever. And they're only actually used for like 3 Nirvana songs in utero, and you know the pedal costs $1,000. That's crazy. But hey ho, whatever goes, you know. And it's one of my whammy bars. And yeah, um, I don't know why I'm looking like I'm zoning out. I have no idea. I've been like this for years now, or like months. I got this guitar pedal, which is the Sansamp um, Classic by Tech 21. It's the same thing Kurt used in Euro, and it's in Euro Taurus, and I love that distorted sound. I tried to replicate it with a Behringer tube amp modeler, but it didn't sound the same. On like it sounded the same digitally, but when you did it with an real amp, the whole thing sounded weird. And I sold it off to some dude for $30. I don't need a pedal now because I actually have a real sansamp. And this cost me like $400 plus shipping plus tolls for this small Japanese used sansamp from like the 90s, I believe, or yeah. It actually is so old. It actually requires this old yeah, like it requires this old power jack, which I only have one of, which I used on my small clone over there. And I haven't really done any other of the settings. Mainly because I think it just sounds just so cool with the distorted sound. It has a sort of a dark mud, but it's clear. And with the help of this Behringer EQ pedal, it does the job. But I had a good deal on a Mesa Boogie. What's it called? Mesa Boogie. Fuck. A Mesa Boogie EQ 5-band graphic 5-band equalizer pedal, EQ pedal, for like 400, $300, and Jesus Christ, it costs $1,000 now for one EQ pedal. Are you joking me? You know, and because you know they won't make any new ones, so that sucks. You know, so but I had like a deal on that for one EQ pedal for a Mesa Boogie, you know, EQ setting, and somehow like you can get one from Nirvana, but the problem with Nirvana is that Nirvana pedals are from the USA, and thanks to a little you know ongoing current shit situations, you know, tolls and you know import fees and all this stuff, you know, it costs you know $100 just to get it sent, you know, for you know, because I was interested in the Mesa Boogie Paramount for my my digital settings, because I am not like I'm not hearing the same sounds that I do with my Moore preamp X2, which is the same thing that Nirvana guitar uses. And you know, this one actually sounds pretty good. It's just the problem is that it's I never get a good sound without it sounding too sharp or too hard on my pedal board, and everyone just like clicks off the video because it doesn't sound good, or you know the noise is weird. People tell me I have brain damage or whatever. Like yeah, I don't know. I'm just tired, I guess. It's I hate the summer. It's so hot. You never stay focused. I have like I get really like during the summer and stuff. But this thing is just it's good. It's not terrible. It could work, but it doesn't make like Nirvana sounds per se because the Paramount is just so expensive, and getting it shipped. I really wish they would have had a producer or whatever in Europe, or they would have had like a guitar store which you could actually buy it from. But Mesa Boogie makes no Nirvana guitar makes Nirvana makes these EQ pedals that are basically the same thing for like half the price. So yeah, that sounds cool. I've also had like the Moore Cab X2 because that was actually easily good, and I've used that ever since my digital setup. But that was the thing I used on my relaxing lo-fi DS2 thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. I'm not even on drugs. I'm just really tired. I like I don't do any drugs. I've been completely toler my whole life. I I've been like drinking once when I was 18, but that was it. Only once. That was on my birthday, and I completely abstain from alcohol and cigarettes and drugs and all this shit. I don't do any snus. I don't do any of that stuff. It's a boring life, sure, but problem is that if you drink alone, you'll become like a really depressing alcoholic, and if you drink with people, it's completely fine and okay. But I don't have like a functioning social life, so I think it's really dangerous for someone like me to step into that sort of thing without a reason. But I have like other activities, so I just I drive. I I do occasionally do cardio and I walk out. It's so hot now. I have to wear a baseball cap and sunglasses so I don't burn myself because I burn my cheek. But the summer it makes me completely like a zombie. I Summer will do that to me, to be completely honest. But yeah, I will get my what's it called? Yeah, plurichorus, and I'll check it out. And Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think expect a video on Monday or Wednesday. I think on that pedal, and I'll try the best to recreate it with my orange GR60. I'll try to mic it up professionally with my Focusrite over there, and this mic I think will do a good job. I hope, or I'll just use my well-in. You know, that's pretty much it. Bye.